describe the plan that you have for either the portion of the Gateway area, for the city of Compton, or for the Compton watershed. What are the specific plans you have now, or what are the planning processes that you're undertaking?
Compton Creek, to us at the county, is part of something much, much bigger than just the river bed itself or the region around it. It's really part of a comprehensive reevaluation of growth and development patterns in the entire metropolitan region. The community that became Los Angeles was founded on a river because there was a river and it was necessary to its existence. But for the last 50 years at least, we've been characterized by a pattern of continuing sprawl where people and economic activity have moved farther and farther away from the center. That has created problems of disinvestment and decline in existing urban areas. It's created an inefficient economic structure, and it's created an environment where people are socially and politically separated, to all of our detriment. But the history of LA, as we've seen it in our lifetime, has been one of centrifugal growth, people moving farther and farther away. What the river system, and that includes Compton Creek, Dominguez Channel, Toohunga Wash, the Arroyo Seco, and the LA River, and the activity that's now being focused on them creates as an opportunity to bring people back together. We create waterfront property, which we've had under our noses all along, recreational opportunities, commercial opportunities, living opportunities, and most important, the chance for people to come together and mingle the way they have historically in riverfront towns around the world. And people who know their neighbors, care about their neighbors, and it has the potential to really change the political dynamic of the entire region. The riverfront restoration and development projects, of which this is a part, are really the greatest, most important land use and economic development opportunity that I think we have ever had in Southern California. And that's spoken as a real estate developer as well as an environmentalist, that this is something very important. People come back to the river to do things at the river with their neighbors, their friends, and the sociological benefits. In many ways, it transcend, I think, in their potential, the environmental benefits in which we're all interested. The county has several agendas right now on the river, one of which we cannot overlook, and that is flood protection itself. The existing condition of Compton Creek and the river system, the concrete channels were created because of a real threat to life and property. That threat increases as the basin is increasingly paved and runoff increases in peak storms, as the intensity and unpredictability of storms changes with global climate change. The potential for a catastrophic flood and overtopping of the levees, particularly in this part of the LA River system, is real. It's taken very seriously at the County Flood Control District. Anything we do to beautify and improve access to this creek in the LA River has to be done in light of its flood protection agenda. The potential, I think, is evident to everybody here that if the levees were overtopped on this part of the creek, you would have the Ninth Ward of New Orleans, perhaps in many unfortunate regards, replicated here. It's quite serious. The Corps and the County Flood Control District are working very hard at it. Fortunately, what may be the best answer to flood protection may also be the best answer environmentally, and that is to create upstream detention to hold peak storms, water loads up in the system so they don't rush into the lower channel, and to increase percolation and groundwater recharge. So the greening of the river may actually be our best opportunity for continuing to protect the constituents who live along the river system. We're involved in three specific plans. I think that was the question. One is we are thoroughly enjoying our participation in the Compton Creek Task Force, which has been running now for a number of years under the leadership of the City of Compton. We hope to be a contributing and productive collaborator in that, and we see that as the vehicle for the all-important community outreach. This is an urban watershed, and the urban context needs to be addressed, respected, and incorporated into the interventions that we create. So we'll be very, very active in the task force, and we hope that many of you will do the same. There are two specific plans that we are working on. One is with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. It's called an Ecosystem Watershed Restoration Plan. Did I get that right, Carly? What's the right name?
Ecosystem Restoration Plan.
An Ecosystem Restoration Plan, and that is as ambitious as it sounds. That is a federally funded plan through the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers with a match of county money that we will be providing. It will take several years to prepare, But its ambitions are truly grand, to look at restoring to the extent possible in this urban context the ecosystem of Compton Creek, upstream detention, greening, environmental interventions, habitat, and water quality initiatives from a truly ambitious environmental perspective. And that may become we hope will become the sort of long-range master plan under which the Corps of County Flood Control District and other jurisdictions pursue specific projects. The second plan is a implementation plan, which is being prepared right now by the County Department of Public Works, and that involves the coordination of multiple smaller projects, some of which are completed, some of which are contemplated along the creek. That includes wetlands restoration, bicycle and pedestrian paths, perhaps bridges, incorporation of green spaces in adjoining school and park properties into what eventually, as everyone knows, these river projects aren't done all at once. They're a series of interventions that are linked like pearls on a necklace, it's sometimes said, and we'll be looking at specific projects with the City of Compton, Compton Unified School District, community colleges, and others. One of the fortunate things in closing is that the multiple jurisdictions here are relatively limited. A portion of the creek is in the City of Los Angeles, a portion in the City of Compton, and the balance largely in the County of Los Angeles. And those are three parties working together, and we look forward to being a part of it. Thank you.